Hello, everybody. Welcome to the latest episode of FPL Affairs, the podcast that discusses our 9-month-long love affair with FPL, including the ins and outs that keep us awake at night. In this video, we take a look at our Game Week 34 teams, the admin awards, the good, the bad, and the ugly, what we've learnt from Game Week 34 in itself, as well as today's announcement regarding fixtures in Game Week 37. Before we get started, please click like if you enjoy this video. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel for all our existing content, including the Idiot's Guides, as well as what we have planned for the last few games of the season. Anyway, let's get cracking.
And there's Mo Salah. There goes Haaland. He's on his way again. He's hungry. He's scored. Ice-cold precision from Palmer. Kayo Saka. That is a diamond of a goal.
Greetings, viewers, to another video, our Game Week 34 final review with me, Matt, aka the FBL Affairs veteran. This week, the guest team we will also be peeking at is my admin colleague Paul, aka FPL Weasel. He unfortunately is unable to attend due to work, so he has sent in some pre-recorded videos where he talks through how his team got on with just tonight's fixture remaining. Mine and the data includes tonight's match, Forest versus Brentford. Okay, let's get cracking. Our Game Week 34. Paul, how'd you get on, mate?
Thank you, Matt, for inviting me on the best FPL podcast on YouTube. Sorry I'm not there to record live with you, but the joys of working nights and evenings means that I have to record my parts while everyone else is fast asleep. But what a game week. The free hits turned out to be alright, and Oxford have stayed in the championship. I'm currently on 69 points for my free hit team for week 34. I decided to target the teams playing the relegated teams, and also to target Liverpool players playing the weakened Spurs team who are playing in Europe midweek. So my team, Pope got me 6 points, Outnori got me 11, Robinson was not even in the squad, Segnerson got 11 points, Louis Duez got 7 points, Barnes 3, Palmer, my vice captain, 3 points, my captain Salah got 16 points, and Barman is playing Thursday night. Isaac got 6 points, and Strand Larson also got 6 points. On my bench, I had Sanchez, Wizza, Trent Arnold, whose 5 points I'll get, and Nico Williams from Nottingham Forest. My current rank is 113k, down from 112k last week, but I still have Mbermo to play on Thursday. I decided to be a bit differential with my team this week, trying to break into the top 100k, but I think I've been slightly unsuccessful. I chose Pope in goal because Sarr and Neno are never on my radar. We got lucky about Nori after Sarr's penalty save, gave him the 4 clean sheet points. Robson obviously didn't play, wasn't even in the squad. Said Zedder's gone was a bit of a gamble this week because I thought Wilson would take his place. Obviously, he took Robinson's place and he scored a last-minute winner. Diaz returned in 5 out of the last 7 games. Barnes obviously has been in fantastic form lately, but he only got 3 points. Palmer's another disappointing week for him, obviously not recapturing his form last week. Captain Salah was a no-brainer, and he delivered. And Burmo was a bit of a knee-jerk reaction after last week's 18 points, and hopefully he'll perform on Thursday. Isaac got a goal, but so slightly disappointing after his hat-trick against Ipswich earlier in the season, but 6 points. And Strand Larson continued his hot form with 6 points for me. Obviously, Kunal would have been a better option.
Well, thank you for your insight, Paul. I am amazed how close our teams are at the moment. So looking at the data, Paul sent those videos before the Forest Brentford game. I've updated his points totals and rank. So he got a total of 76 points, up from 69. That's because of Trent's substitution in for Robinson, who didn't play, as well as Mbeumo's 2 points, giving him current points total of 2,289. He made a small red arrow overall in game week 34, down from 112k to 114k, so very close, with a game week rank of 1.1 million. So, shall we look at my team? With my free hit, it was a lot of combinations that I was split between. With all the good fixtures, I didn't want to double up on any of the defences. Cucurella was quite a solid pick for me. Little investment in the Chelsea fixture. Aït-Nouri, common sense, attacking defender playing against a team in Leicester that struggled to score. And Newcastle defender was always going to be the third option. I've had Trippier in my team in recent weeks rather than Livramento or Burn, and that's been beneficial at times. And I knew that the template was going to go Trippier, template free hit. So I decided to go a tiny bit different with his scoring prowess and scoring ability. I went with Fabian Schär, got the clean sheet, but typically he wasn't the one that scored the most. And I would like to therefore place on record my sincerest apologies to Mr. Kieran Trippier for not keeping faith in arguably one of my favourite Newcastle players, which is also printed on my worn shirt, if you can see it across the top. Yes, so apologies to him once again. Midfield, like with Trippier, I wanted to go with Barnes over Murphy based on Barnes' attacking form. Diaz and Salah, which was quite a template. Liverpool double up in the title-winning fixture. Cunha, I was split a little between him and Strand Larsen, but I went with Cunha because of such high ownership. And if he played and returned, he gets bonus. He's a bonus points magnet. So I didn't want to potentially miss that because that could really hurt. Isak, nothing to say really. My 50-50, or actually it was probably a 33%, 33%, even split between Raul Jimenez of Fulham, guaranteed start because of the injury to Muniz. Second option was Chris Wood, played and blanked tonight, so that was a slight relief avoidance. But again, the third one was Strand Larsen about possibly going triple up in Wolves. But because when Cunha plays, he's been quite quiet, I decided against going there, and I went with Raul because he was playing against Southampton. Reading out my team in full, including the bench, I've got Leno at Fulham in goal. You got me 2 points. Aït-Nouri, Cucurella, and Schär as my back three. So 11 points for Aït-Nouri, 6 for Cucurella, and 6 for Schär. Starting midfielder, Salah, captain 16. Clive at 2 points. Barnes 3 points. Diaz 7. Raul the solitary point after that yellow card. And he did have quite a high XG, frustratingly, and missing some good chances and some big chances, which was hair raising and hair pulling out and growling. Isak 6 and Cunha's 15 on the bench. I had a delightful 21 points, significantly more than my bench boost, which was rather depressing. I had 3 points from Kepa, 5 from Trent, and last on my bench, which had for most part looked quite good, was Sessegnon of Fulham. Seeing him start left back as opposed to right wing was like, yes, result. Then to see Fulham concede to Southampton early was like, yes. And then, like with a lot of people that either benched him or didn't pick him, the tears started flowing when he scores the winning goal and gets maximum bonus in stoppage time at the end of the game. It's just painful. So it gave me a grand total of 75 points, which compared to non-free hitters is a good score. However, it's the lowest free hit score I have seen out there. Everyone seems to be 85 points and above. So that's a bit of a bitter pill to swallow. I finished 2 points behind my safety score of 77, giving me a small red arrow. My total's 2,277 points. As I said, 21 on the bench. My old rank was 145k. I've dropped slightly to 148k, which is 2% drop in a game week rank, which actually isn't too bad, of 1.2 million. So yes, a frustrating red arrow, and again, it was missed opportunities really. Like it could have been, if I would have gone Pope in goal, it would have been Pope and started Sessegnon or Trippier over Shah. There were lots of fine margins over that, which was very frustrating. So, Paul, what are your thoughts on my free hit choices?
My thoughts on your free hit this week is I thought you did all right. You was unlucky with Leno to only get 2 points away to Southampton. Out Norrie, I picked myself. Cucurella was on my watch list, but I ultimately didn't go for him. Slav was unlucky, obviously got the clean sheet, and obviously he's been scoring goals lately, so we should have both gone for Trippier. Captain Salah too. Clive out, blanked again. Barnes, was a rare blank from him. Diaz, again I picked because he had 5 returns in 7 games. Rule was a disappointment. Isaac, I picked as well. And well done for picking Kuna with his 15 points.
Yeah, thank you for that insight. I'm glad FPL Weasel's positivity about my team is a tad more than mine, despite the fact I got 1 point less. Yeah, which is very frustrating. But anyway, onwards and upwards. We'll now look at the admin awards for game week 34 and the good, the bad, and, well, the downright ugly. So the good this week goes, and it will be a controversial decision, simply because it was weighing up. Do I give the good to, because generally defenses did quite well this week, I was thinking, do I give it to the person, the admin member who got the most points from his defense? Or do I go with someone who got returns from goalkeeper and back three? I went with that. Out of all the admin team, 2 of us got returns from actually all 5 of our defenders, but both our keepers blanked, which was very frustrating. Three admin members, their goalkeeper returned and their 3 defenders returned. The one with the most points, and congratulations for the good decision of the week, goes to Mr. Dave Paxton. Who chose Pope and got his 6 points, 15 points from Trippier, 11 from Norrie, and 5 from Trent. So well done against you, Dave. Now, the bad call this week goes to somebody who had insufficient faith in his own team, which is a rarity. So the bad, you've probably guessed, goes to me. Yeah, sorry about that. Yeah, and Trippier agrees he was my killer to the rank of the week, and him alone cost me almost 4 points. The ugly this week goes to somebody who had a mixture of small unluckiness or a bad decision, that ended up being a very painful week. So the ugly decisions of the week goes to the FPL Affairs Master, Mr. Jack Lucas.
Oh, you son of a biscuit!
Finishing with 46 points, which was 34 points behind his safety score. You probably guessed he did not free hit this week. So quite painful. And I think he's dropped from 50k to just over 100k. A very painful drop. So yeah, the good, Mr. David Paxton. The bad, Mr. FPL Affairs Matt, aka the veteran, and the ugly, Mr. Jack Lucas, aka the FPL Affairs Master. Alrighty, moving on to 3 things from game week 34 that we have learnt. First thing is going to be the impacts of the weekend on the top 2. Big congratulations to Liverpool and Liverpool fans for your second Premier League title. Deserved. You've been the best team in the league so far this season. How that impacts FPL as well as Arsenal being second is how are Liverpool going to play out the last few games? In my opinion, Salah's made clear he's aware of different FPL and statistical records there are that he's within touching distance of breaking, such as combined goal involvement, i.e. goals and assists. He's, I think, a couple of assists away from the record of assists, which was Kevin De Bruyne with 20. Can't remember what year now. That's very much playing on my mind. So he'll be 90 minutes every week. When they face Arsenal, I can imagine Slot will want to put Arsenal in their place and put out his strongest for that. Who knows about Trent and Bradley, where that stands, because if Trent's definitely leaving, and Bradley will need minutes to see whether he's up to the task of being a regular starter. I don't think I'll be investing in any Liverpool asset in addition to Salah going forward. The second thing from game week 34 is Arsenal, with them losing the first leg of the Champions League semi-final against PSG 1-0 and having Bournemouth at home sandwiched inside the first leg and the second leg. I very much believe that Arteta is not going to risk Saka, or certainly not start him anyway, in the league game, because what have they got to achieve? They're not going to win the league, and they'd rather win the Champions League and finish lower down in the rankings in the league table. If it meant they could win the Champions League trophy. So yeah, I expect Salah will be benched at the weekend with the view of starting the second leg, since he played 90 minutes in the first leg. As for Arsenal, other picking, I expect Raya and the centre-back pairing of Kivior and Saliba will start. The rest of the team, there's arguments to and fro because there's multiple players that could play each position. So yeah, I think, well, I'll go through in the transfer plans and team selection video to follow what my plans will be in relation to Saka and Arsenal assets going forward. So yeah, what to do with Liverpool? First thing I've learned from the weekend. Second thing from the weekend, Arsenal. And the third thing is the FA Cup final. So congratulations to Crystal Palace and Manchester City. Typically, it was the FPL assets that got all the returns, as typical. So with Saar getting a double goal, Mateta getting one despite missing a penalty. Then in Man City, Marmoush assisting Guardiola. So yeah, why they couldn't do that in a double game week? I'm not going to repeat what I was saying after I saw the results. But yeah, the impact of those was then because the FA Cup final is in game week 37 and clashes with the game week 37 fixtures. It then put the question mark over where the Man City fixture was going to move and where the Crystal Palace fixture was going to move. Were they going to be moved a few days early into game week 36, or were they going to be moved a few days later into game week 37? Well, earlier today, we had an announcement confirming which of those it's going to be. So the final thing really confirmed and learned from game week 34 and before game week 35 is that fixture announcement, is that all fixtures remain in game week 37. The kickoff date and time stays the same for Chelsea versus Manchester United, which is the Friday night kickoff. Everton Southampton on Sunday. Also on Sunday, Aston Villa Tottenham, West Ham versus Forest, Brentford versus Fulham, Leicester versus Ipswich, Arsenal versus Newcastle, and Brighton versus Liverpool. The two fixtures that are being moved are Crystal Palace, Wolves, and Man City Bournemouth, which are being moved from the Sunday back 48 hours to Tuesday, the 20th of May. How that impacts FPL is that the announcement means there are set to be no more blank or double game weeks this season, unless there's unforeseen circumstances. But generally, that's it. No more blanks, no more doubles, which I think for those people who have no chips left, like myself, are celebrating. Those that do have chips, wow for getting this far. But it makes it a tad bit tougher for when they're going to use those. My suggestions and my thoughts on when I'd use them I'll cover in the Game Week 35 preview video. So that's basically our summary and what we've learned from Game Week 34. If you've liked this video and found it helpful, including this announcement, then please click the thumbs up to like the video, put any comments below that you may thought. What did you do? How did you get on for your free hit? And please subscribe for access to all our existing videos. And as well, if you click the little bell notification, then you'll find out when we release our weekly videos between now and the end of the season, which is scarily approaching us. How else you can get in touch and where to find us on x.com/FPL Affairs, Facebook group, just type search in the group FPL Affairs. Alternatively, if you've got the HTTP link online, facebook.com/group/Fantasy Premier League FPL1. All in lowercase, no spaces, no dots or underscores or any of that, just full straight. Our YouTube channel at FPL Affairs and Spotify, the long link below. I hope you had, those of you that played your free hit, a more successful free hit than I did. Again, let us know in the comments below. And with that announcement on fixtures, what are your plans going into game week 35? Hope you had a good week with green arrows. And P.S. Thank you so much to FPL Affairs Paul, aka FPL Diesel, and he will share his thoughts on his team going into game week 35. So all that's left to say is thank you and bye bye.